Fellow Kenyans, let us tell one another the truth, and let us be a people who can speak the truth to power. The government of Kenya under William Ruto is not just dividing the country. It is engineering a national fracture, and it is doing so on purpose. The tribal tensions has become the Kalenjin shield against poor leadership, corruption, and privatization of our national assets. Whenever the heat rises over corruption, looting, or the auctioning of public assets, the regime's cabinet secretaries, permanent secretaries, and sponsored keyboard militias, they launch a coordinated tribal circus to suffocate the truth. It is not chaos, it is a strategy. Fellow Kenyans, the moment Ndindi Nyoro exposed the alleged Safaricom fire sale and pointed to President William Ruto, the entire communication machine under Hussein Mohammed, former Citizen TV journalist, went into overdrive, not to deny the allegations, not to explain the privatization spree, but to drag the country into senseless tribal hostility against the Kalenjin nation. Instead of addressing the sale of Kenya Ports Authority, Kenya Pipeline, our airports, they manufactured a tribal noise to bury the scandal. And that is the tactic President William Ruto uses to divide our attention from discussing grave national issues into attacking one another over tribe. That in Kenya, if the truth comes from Willis Otieno, we don't have a problem with that. If the truth comes from somebody like Miguna, we don't have a problem with that. But the moment Anyoro, Akamau, Amaina speaks the same thing, we don't have the problem with what he said. We have the problem with who said it. Why him? They will start saying Kikuyus feel entitled, Kikuyus feel bad because Ndindi Nyoro, because Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. They'll say Kikuyu feel bitter because Ndindi Nyoro was removed from the Parliamentary Account Committee. But again, we are forgetting that this is the president's survival manual. How does President William Ruto survive? President William Ruto is corrupt and rotten to the core. President William Ruto is looting this country to his knee. Now, to divert our attention from the thing President William Ruto is doing, nothing new, because it's the same President William Ruto who was stealing and dividing this nation along tribal lines, even when he was serving as Uhuru's deputy president. Now, this is the president's survival manual. When caught stealing, create an ethnic war. When exposed, ignite a distraction fire. When cornered, attack the tribe, not the truth. And the propaganda is vicious. They don't touch the facts because they can't. They assassinate the identity of the messenger because it is easier. You know, look at it this way. Ndindi Nyoro speaks on national plunder, and immediately state agents, majority of them Luos and Kalenjins, screams he is a Kikuyu. That is the entire rebuttal. Now, no substance, no evidence, just tribal poison meant to blind the country so that they don't see the looting, corruption, and the danger of privatization of our national assets. President William Ruto and his oligarchs, they want Kenyans stupid, emotional, and easily steered. They want a population too busy insulting each other to notice that a handful of powerful men are selling the country piece by piece. They want citizens to fear the truth if it comes from the wrong tribe. It is psychological warfare dressed as politics. Fellow Kenyans, this is how nations die, not from lack of resources, but from leaders who weaponize the identity to cover their crimes. This is how nation falls. And let me be honest with you people. I'll be brutally honest. We are not Luos, we are not Kikuyus, we are not Luyas, we are not Kalenjins. We are all suffering. And the enemy is not the community. It is not the Luo, not the Kikuyu, not the Kamba, not the Luya, or not even the Kalenjin. The enemy is not the tribe of the whistleblower. The enemy is the leadership that hides theft behind tribal smoke. Now, if we allow the state to dictate our emotions, they will loot uninterrupted. If we keep chasing tribal bait, they will privatize this country into extinction. If we don't break the script, Kenya will break instead. Criticize the information, fellow Luos. Ndugu zangu Wajaluo, our Luo people. Criticize the information. Don't let the Kalenjin oligarchs, the Kalenjin cabals, use you Luos to remind that This truth is not a good truth because it has come from a Kikuyu. No. When looting, they don't choose what to loot. They loot from all of us. They don't choose who is affected. The looting affects the entire nation, whether you are a one-term or whether you are a two-term. So, let us do this. Criticize the information. Expose the rot. Confront the power. But don't fall for the tribal trap. The trap designed by William Ruto, the trap created by William Ruto, you see, that trap wasn't designed to protect you. That trap was designed to protect the thieves. That trap is designed to protect William Ruto and a few individuals stealing and destroying our country. Fellow Kenyans, we have a country to protect. So, see behind the game William Ruto is trying to play. Truth cannot be a lie because it has been spoken by Ndindi Nyoro, and a lie cannot be the truth because Mandago, the guy who stole from parents and their children in the name of Finland scandal, now feels too entitled and close to power. He wishes and thinks that he can attack Kalonzo Musyoka carelessly. Mushindwe na mulege. One term, Ruto must go. And 2027, we are not repeating another mistake. And that mistake is President William Ruto.
I have been saying that as the opposition, which I'm part of.
I'm also opposition.
Yes, which we are part of. We need to be very clear not to play the game that the government wants us to play. And we are falling into that trap. If we organize around tribes, I can say very clearly on this show, we will lose. Because that is William Ruto's game.
Tribalism.
If you come and organize big wigs of a region, say in Mbere we are sending Gashagwa, we are sending Muturi to go and campaign in Mbere, you make it about Gashagwa and Muturi. William Ruto sent his own.
Muturi picking fights with the voters.
Yes, you say William Ruto now sends Kindiki, who is a native of that same area. He sends the governor, who is another bigwig there. He sends the CS. It becomes a battle of the titans. Where does that leave the people? When the government sends its own bigwigs, they come with sweets and sukuma kwa soko. Sisi watu opposition tunaenda na nini? Aguna. The ordinary person chooses who? The person with the sukuma. Because it solves their problem today. You see, that's not the kind of Kenya that we want. But that person has a need of today.
And it is solved.
It has been solved by sukuma.
By sukuma.
Then you are not coming to talk about the issue of this person. You are coming to say you want to fight the other people. You will lose that election. That's the mistake we did as the opposition.
I actually saw, what is his name? The Malava. This Natembea.
Yes.
Akikampena akisema, msiponipea kura, hawa watu watanichukulia vibaya, ndasema nini mbele ya watu.
Yes.
They are not focusing on the issues. They are focusing on their image to the other party.
It becomes not about the people. It becomes about the big people, the leaders. That's how we lose. We now have, that's why I keep on saying, re-strategize. So how are we going about these issues? What do the people want? What has qualified William Ruto to be a one-term president? What has he done that makes us call him incompetent? Then what are we coming to do differently? How do we now package ourselves as a solution to the problem of who?
Ruto.
The people.
Sasa, the leaders we have in Central, monkeys, complete garbage, people who cannot be trusted. Ukisikia watu kama huyu Esther Ng'ang'a and this other Kuroria, you know, watu embarrassing kabisa, hata unashangaa. How did we fall from people like Akina Mishuki who are finance graduates, Akina Kamodho who was like a political science graduate, Akina George Thuo who are so refined? As in, how did we fall from those people tukakuja kuokota hawa machokora tukawapeleka parliament. How did that happen? It happened because of this nonsense ya 6 piece. Hata uangalii sura. As long as someone is in the party colors, you give them votes. But upstairs, they are empty. They have nothing to offer. No development, cannot contribute meaningfully in parliament, does not even know what happens in parliament. People who did not even go to school, did not receive basic education. People who are zero, hata character wise, hata vile mtu anakuanga ati community has molded you to something meaningful. These people ni kama waliokotwa tu kwa garbage dumpster sites wakaletwa parliament. It's such a disgrace and disappointment that Mount Kenya leaders, we have the loudest and most primitive. Wale leaders wenye primitive kabisa wa kuembarrass watu wametoka Central. Na ni midomo kubwa na hawakusoma. So whatever they are talking about and whatever they are airing is garbage and rubbish because there is nothing between their ears.
When Rigathi Gachagua was impeached, I thought it's a big blow to William Ruto. But the opposite is true. That Gachagua's impeachment is a big blow to the opposition. No, take a time. Let me tell you why it's a big blow. The reason why it's a big blow. Before Gachagua was impeached, William Ruto used to go to town halls to try and engage on issues. Sindio? Si alikuwa anaenda town hall. Anajaribu kuongea na vijana. Rigathi Gachagua amemrudisha juu ya gari. Hauwezi shindana na William Ruto akiwa juu ya gari. Rudisha yeye kwa town halls. Hapo ndo atastruggle kujibu maswali. Huwezi shindana na mtu kwa game yake. Ukiona eagle inataka kupigana na nyoka, the eagle knows that you cannot fight a snake on the ground. Inapandana nayo juu. Kupanda na William Ruto juu, we have to play issue-based politics. Otherwise, tribal, mutakarangwa asubuhi na
ati black chocolate ni fine melanin bana kutoka nikapate. Kanapenda kenye mi wanapenda, so kanapenda toto chupa na haga nono.
Madam na kudai, umedunga mini na unapenda mangwai. Una dance fit, unawacha nikismile. Ama niko high, jua lies.